My name's Ken Neighbors. I'm from Alexander City, Alabama, and I just love Alabama football. There's no one special thing. Roll Tide.
Well, if you're just joining us, this is the Tider Insider 8-Day Special presented by Cook's Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination in termite protection. I'm Gary Harris, he's Rodney Orr, and we're glad that you're with us. We're coming to you live from just outside Bryant-Denny Stadium, and it is so much like a regular fall Saturday. It's scary here at the campus. But our crew is set up all over the quad. We are going to have the Walk of Champions, Walk of Fame ceremony at Bryant-Denny Stadium coming for you here in just a little bit. And we've also got our John Huddleston, who, in addition to putting this entire show together, Rodney, he's worked tirelessly almost all night. He's also pulling double duty today. John is standing by with a report elsewhere on campus. John?
Hey Gary, Rodney, hope you guys are doing okay today. Yeah, I tell you what, it is about 2 hours before kickoff, and already it is a madhouse out here. You can see behind me here, fans pouring in by the droves on the quad out there. Vendors begin to set up last night. Fans began to set up their tents last night, and everybody is here to get their first glimpse of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Of course, A-Day used to not be that big, always has been a big deal, but has really grown by leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. We all remember 2007, when there was a capacity crowd, 92,000 plus at that time in Bryant-Denny Stadium, and you know UA athletic officials, coaches, and players would love to see that again today. Now, if you are about to actually leave and come down here, there are a few things that you should know. The university is treating this like a normal game day in the fall. That means all sections of University Boulevard, Bryant Drive, and other roads near the stadium have been shut down. You have to have a pass to get by those barricades. Now, if you're looking for a place to park, there is public parking near the soccer stadium, Coleman Coliseum, just to name a few places. For a complete list, you can always go onto the World Wide Web and log on to uagameday.com, and they've got a couple of good ideas on there for where you can park, and actually shuttle schedules as well of how to actually get from your parking place to the stadium. Now, obviously, fans and everyone who bleed crimson have high expectations for this season. The Tide winning its 13th national championship last season, the bar has been raised. But you know what Coach Saban says, last year is last year and has nothing to do with this season. In fact, as it turns out, the coach does not even like the term defending national champions.
Everybody always says defending. I'm not sure we're defending anything. Can we lose what we did? Can't lose. It's history, correct? But yet, when people get asked about, you know, trying to do the same thing again, everybody says it'll be much more difficult. But the difficult part of it, to me, is the process.
That is Nick Saban's story, and he is sticking to it. You heard him guys mention the process. It almost seems like to me that after winning the national championship this year, he's having to ramp up that process a little bit more. Gary, Rodney, back to you guys.
Thank you, John. That's right, Rodney. Coach Saban looks at each season, really each day, as its own individual entity. So he doesn't feel like they're defending anything. Last year's team won last year's national championship. This is going to be a new season with a new team, and that's the way he's going to approach it. You can't get hung up for 1 second in Nick Saban's world on the past. You can only learn from it and move on.
Well, first of all, Gary, when you look at this team that they have this year, there are a lot of guys that don't have that hunger because they didn't get the experience of being starters or getting a significant amount of playing time on last year's team. You look at Dante Hightower, for example. He was injured all year. You look at Damian Square. He was injured most of the season. You have several newcomers in the secondary that want to be a part of a championship. You look on the offensive side of the ball, and I know we've talked about it. Look at Greg McElroy. He goes 14-0, wins a national championship. People out there talking about he might lose his job. So certainly he's got things to prove. And as unbelievable as it sounds, Mark Ingram winning the Heisman Trophy, people still doubting him. It seems like he's always got something to prove. So Julio Jones did not have his best season last year, and he certainly seems to have something to prove. So, again, I think there's still a lot of things that these guys want to play for as individuals and as a team.
You know, I would think, though, that having gone through that experience of winning a national championship, at least for the returning players, it's got to benefit them from the standpoint, if nothing else, they know what it takes.
Oh, no question about it. And I think you're talking about it knows what it takes. That's the importance of Nick Saban, Gary. We've talked about that many times, about his experience and the confidence that, his winning a national championship at LSU, what it brought to this program immediately. That's the same thing with Alabama winning a national championship. It just trickles down.
All right, Rodney, up next, the Tide Nation breaks the mold when it comes to intensity, no doubt about that. But is that necessarily a good thing for your mental makeup? And later, an Alabama legend calls it quits. We'll talk to Coach Clem Griska about his time with the Tide and the Bryant Museum. That's coming up.